New WHO-led study says majority of adolescents worldwide are not sufficiently physically active, putting their current and future health at risk. Good day, dear panelists. I am Janre F. Preman, the leader of the Reachers, and we are going to present to you our research entitled Physical Inactive Faced by Adolescents, the Basis for Family Fitness Program During a Pandemic.
I'm Regina Borrell, and here is our introduction. Adolescence is a critical developmental era during which individuals form their own lifestyle choices and behavior patterns, including the decision to engage in physical activity. In terms of adolescents' physical activity, investigate the link between physical activity and social support from parents and friends. Adolescents' physical activity levels are influenced by their parents and friends' behavior, modeling, and social support, both of which are mediated by self efficacy. In the first global study on physical inactivity among adolescents published on Thursday, it was found that 4 out of 5, or 81%, of adolescents aged 11 to 17 in 2016 were insufficiently physically inactive. These show that urgent action is needed to increase physical activity levels in girls and boys aged 11 to 17 years old. Finds that more than 80% of school going globally did not meet current recommendations of at least 1 hour of physical activity per day, including 85% of girls and 78% of boys. Our data show that majority of adolescents do not meet physical activity guidelines, putting their current and future health at risk, said the researchers in their study published in Lancet Child and Adolescent Health. Due to COVID 19, the majority of states around the country were placed under lockdown, restricting leisure activities such as using gyms and fitness studios. We, the researchers, hope to delve more into the current scenario surrounding adolescents' lack of physical activity using the facts supplied here. The purpose of this study is to determine the factors affecting their physical inactive and to provide the best program and intervention to regulate or at least reduce adolescent physical inactivity.
For our statement of the problem, this study intends to investigate and explain the link between adolescents' immobility and physical health during the pandemic, as well as to serve as a foundation for family fitness programs or activities. Specifically, it answers the following questions. Number one, how may the physical inactive rate of adolescents be described considering their age, gender, and nature of hobby? Number two, how may the physical health of adolescents be described during pre-pandemic period and last post-pandemic period? Number three, is there a significant relationship between the adolescents' immobility rate and their physical health? And last, number four, what possible family physical fitness program may be recommended from the results of this study?
My name is Hanife Martinez, and now let's proceed to the theoretical framework. Physical inactivity is one of the most dominant health problems in the society. Most of the psychologists suggest that to motivate individuals into engaging in physical activities, they should learn that the benefits of being active outweigh the barriers to overcome. According to Brand and Chival 2019, states that there are two theories which explains the motivation and physical inactivity of individuals, namely affective reflective theory or ARC of physical inactivity and exercise, and the theory of energetic cost minimization. This dual process theory suggests that exercise-related stimuli trigger automatic associations and the resulting automatic affective valuation of exercise. To put it simply, the feelings, emotions, experience, and mind are connected with exercise influence. For example, an individual was lying on the couch and his friend comes over and reminded him that they have plans to engage in jogging for the day. Initially, he will react by thinking that it was really tiring the last time. However, when he thinks about it further, he will then be able to realize that his friend is right and he planned to continue to exercise. That is why this study will be based on affective reflective theory as it more inclined with the problems this study is trying to answer.
I'm Fix Callis and this is our conceptual framework. Conceptual framework serves as our basis on how to obtain relevant information regardless to the problem. Research paradigm was our chosen framework to illustrate necessary inputs, relevant process, methods, and outputs for us to conclude. The input shows the factors affecting the adolescence of being physically inactive, such as in internal and external factors. Internal factors include fear of injury, lack of energy, and low self-esteem. External factors, on the other hand, include lack of resources such as recreational facilities, exercise equipment, and also lack of encouragement, social influence, and lack of time. The process shows how we gathered information in different legitimate resources like journals, articles, and websites through data mining, which can help us to generate results and conclusions. While the output shows the suggested activities that adolescents can profit from the following activities to become more physically active during the pandemic.
I am the Justin Apolinario, and here's our research design. Descriptive research is used to describe the characteristics of a population. It collects data that are used to answer a wide range of what, when, and how questions pertaining to a particular population or group. It may be used to look for patterns and average, make prediction, evaluate causal links, and extrapolate results to a large groups. It may also be used to determine the percentage of adolescents who are physically inactive. This kind of design will be useful for this study because we're studying data mining. We are mining wide range of data would be answers the questions what, when, and how. It will be used to look patterns and average, and it will determine the percentage of specific problems. Like in our study, we want to know and to determine how pandemic affects the adolescents in their physical activities. This will help us to collect data to solve our problem and to produce our program for the adolescents.
I am Joben, and now let's proceed to the research local. ASEAN countries was chosen as the local in this study because the region is vulnerable in having a people, especially adolescents, who are physically inactive caused by the pandemic. This article explores how these months of homeschooling have affected the physical activity of this study has conducted in ASEAN region comprises of 10 countries: Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam through data mining.
I am Arvin Abon. In our data collection procedure, we conduct a web-based analysis which required broad or extensive data mining from reliable websites. It is important to make sure the validity of reports, so we truly check the websites to make sure that it is reliable. We use search engines to locate the reputable and trustworthy website for our study for us to have a deep and wide data collection. Data mining is a technique for gleaning meaningful patterns and evidence from a vast amount of data according to Ferguson 2014. We went through a pattern discovery process in which the collected data were categorized and correlated with the problem it solved.
I am Rona Mediapria, and this is our ethical considerations. With this study, we are strictly following research ethics to contribute to the development and presentations of multimedia or digital data by using social media networks, which are becoming more popular research tools. This is done to recognize and protect the rights of human subjects, to render the study ethical, the right to self-determinations, anonymity, confidentiality, and informed consent were observed. Number 1. Informed consent. Subjects were informed about the purpose of the study, the procedures that would be used to collect the data, and assured that there were no potential risks or costs involved. Number 2. Anonymity and confidentiality. In this study, anonymity was observed by not disclosing the patient's name on the questionnaire and research reports and detaching the written consent from the questionnaire. The research subjects are promised confidentiality. It means that the information they provide will not be publicly reported in a way which identifies them. According to Pollitt and Hungler, in this study, confidentiality was maintained by keeping the collected data confidential and not revealing the subjects' identities. When reporting or publishing the study, no identifying information was entered onto questionnaires, and questionnaires were only numbered after data was collected. Number 3. Self-determination. In this study, the researchers asked permission with the subjects first to observe autonomy. The researchers also informed them that they will ask questions about their personal engagement with physical activities. Subjects were also given the right to choose either to participate or not. Lastly, information was provided about the researchers in case the subjects asked further questions or complaints. Number 4. Scientific honesty. The researchers tried to avoid any form of dishonesty by recording truthfully the answers of those subjects who could not read or write. The statistician produced the results independently of the researchers to avoid subjective collaboration. The open-ended questions which were analyzed by the researchers were also checked by the supervisor for confirmations of credibility.
Statistical analysis of data. The researchers use secondary data analysis to examine the physical inactivity rate of adolescents in ASEAN nations during the COVID-19 pandemic, based on information from published studies and publications. Using a frequency count and percentage to obtain data is inferentially processed, arranged, and evaluate.